And we are off. And I could not read what Uncle tells us there.
No. Okay, so 300 rupees to start.
So the interesting thing about this particular version of the open mode randomized swords is during the escape sequence, the uncle will give us some sort of random weapon to get through escape. So Zelnus, what weapon do you think we're going to see here today?
Okay, well, it was the bow. Sorry. Just trying to.
It's all
There
right.
we go.
The bow with a convenient arrow pack upgrade. I don't think they'll necessarily need it, but interesting there. Bow, an interesting weapon to go ahead and get from the beginning, simply because it opens up certain routing options, in addition to being one of the faster things that you can do to clear through the escape process with a solid time.
Hey, sorry, got that all figured out. But yeah, the arrow makes for a pretty easy escape.
Absolutely, and it opens up the world for early options. Usually tempts runners to go over and take out Eastern relatively early compared to everything else, simply because you can go ahead and clear the dungeon. It's a pretty simple matter to do the dark rooms in Eastern, even though it is technically a sequence break. If you can do it when you're there, why not?
Oh, fairy drop early in the dark pool is pretty interesting.
As well as
man, the moon pearl.
Jawbreaker.
Yeah. Well, there's our dark world. A little bit.
First of our 3 puzzle pieces into the dark world early. Version 29, if there's a common theme in version 29 through this, it's that it tends to give you lots of items early on, and then it turns right on its head and holds back 1 or 2 items. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an early Dark World access here.
And I just like to say that it's currently very sufficiently randomized. It's luckily, I think at this point it's pretty much as randomized as they could get it. Previously, dungeons were pretty overwhelmingly better just because they had more locations. They equaled that out by making it so that the dungeon items are placed first inside of the dungeons in non-key sanity seeds, which meant that dungeons, instead of say being 12 or 13 item slots, there are only 6 or 5 or whatever that dungeon may hold. It also increases the randomness of the big T and small T's themselves. You could actually start predicting where big and small T's were based on where they were starting. And the moment you can start predicting something in a randomizer, that's bad then. You should feel like you've been thrown on your head every once in a while in a randomizer.
Absolutely. These 2 runners, as they're going through, getting up into the sewer portion at a very nice pace. Both runners have killed enough guards that they were able to get 1 bomb, and that's really all you need to get through escape if you want to do it and route it effectively. So we'll be able to see everything that's in this dungeon without having to backtrack.
Okay, we're going to see what's in the cross chest here, and it is our Quake medallion. So
early medallions are a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes.
I like to find all 3 of them as quickly as possible. Just know I don't have to worry about it. But generally, I actually just like to consider, if I did an early medallion, I play as if that medallion is what I need for one of the two dungeons, Mire or Torok. I just find that if you play thinking you have the Treads medallion, it works out more often than not.
It does, but sometimes you don't necessarily want to have to go into those dungeons. Say a pendant turtle rock, if it forces you. And
Oh, wow, hook shot
and a sword.
Okay, good escape today. Good escape.
Let's go through. Quake, hookshot, your first sword, in addition to the bow given you your uncle. This is a more stacked escape.
Yeah, it's a pretty good escape right there. I mean, there's not that many items that you can get in escape. In the escape and pre-escape sequence. We also have 300 rupees. It's not something to scoff at. That's going to let them buy bombs. That's going to let them buy the item at the bottle vendor. So that just gives us a great start here. And Problem's also finishing up that escape at 6 minutes. So that is pretty impressive. Yeah, he didn't find a bomb, but neither runner did, so neither runner's going to fall behind. There were no bombs in the early pool. They're going to now have this hook shot and be able to move a lot faster through the world if they know what they're doing. It's pretty much always faster to hook shot than it is to just walk if the hook shot area is where you're going anyway.
Yeah, and Problems is going to be routing up here through the forest, so lots of things to latch onto as he's going through, like this tree pole with 5 arrows. Okay, that's nice when you get the bow. We're going to get our first...
Oh, hey, look, there's a... so the stun prize is a bomb.
That's actually really nice, knowing that the stun prize is a bomb, because that means Minus is going to be able to, you know, effectively farm up bombs before he goes through. It'll save him a bit of time in Kakariko. How much time? Is it worth it to be a little bit later? I'm not sure about that, but it's nice either way.
Oh, I think it's absolutely worth it to farm up these bombs, and you can buy the other bombs you need, or just completely ignore buying bombs and save your money for Zora, among other things. There's a 20 for Problems and the piece of heart on the ledge, B-. Now they both know that Aghanim is not required, at least for this.
Now, still a slight chance that Aghanim is required in order to get over to the east side of the Dark World once we have regular Dark World access. That is, if either the flippers or the hammer are somewhere over there. That would be our only method in. So we'll see.
Well, Problems isn't going to shut the stun prize.
And that's going to route him down to the south part of Kakariko to go ahead and purchase the bomb. So B- is going to save a little bit of money that may prove fruitful if he goes to Zora relatively early. And B- is just stacking up on these bombs. It's absolutely amazing to see that.
Okay, and Problems IRL, trying to check the chicken hut, and it is just 5 rupees.
Now, to be fair, these runners are going to be able to clear out everything in this early Kakariko run fairly early, and they're going to get the same thing, so they're not going to get much advantage in terms of what they do and don't get. It's more about being able to do this as efficiently as possible, and B- not having to buy bombs will be able to get through here pretty efficiently. Also, picking up more bombs. Power Glove also in blind. That's a nice pickup.
A quick mention in chat is... can you use Fake Flipper? There's only a very few locations you can Fake Flipper. Right south of the Dark World portal, you can jump in the water on that screen transition, like right in that water patch below the by the Hype Cave. You can Fake Flipper into that water, take the whirlpool. That doesn't really take you anywhere. It's just slightly faster if you're going to the mushroom.
B- doing something kind of unusual here. He backed out of Kakariko because he found the boots early and is going over here to the Bonk Rocks. So... And
oh, wow!
What? That... I mean, that was a low percentage play, and it
Not.
absolutely paid off for B-.
I thought he was going over there to check that and then save and quit into the well because he needs those items.
That is a crazy play by B-
Wow.
right there. Reading this seed to a T. It might be a little bit before Problems gets to that.
That's what might be that hidden item that gets people. Like the overall being slightly more incentivized means that dungeons aren't always going to hold your next item. It's not always. It's still kind of the right play to just do dungeons and then worry about overworld, just as dungeons are part of the goal anyway. The crystal at the end of the dungeon is an item towards your progression. Although he kind of should have done Kin's Tomb while he was over there. He should have done the 2 tombs. I don't know when. I don't know how long it's going to be until Problems goes over there. Probably, like, at least after South Shore. But he might not get those for a while.
Yeah, this is really interesting. B- has the possibility, once he clears out this Kakariko area, he can just pop right on over into Village of Outcasts right now, if he wants to.
If he feels like it, he can do Thieves Town right now.
I mean,
3 hearts. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's nobody's ideal Thieves Town, I don't think.
The lowest I've dared to do it on was 5 hearts, and I had the blue cane to do the boss.
Yeah, I mean that's just an amazing. I'm still flabbergasted a little bit here at that play, and I don't know if anyone really. I mean, if you play Heads Up, you can know absolutely. Yeah, I can do King's Tomb now, but who does? Who thinks about King's Tomb at 10 minutes? And chat bringing up an interesting point, as Problems is already in the mini Moldorm cave, getting a heart container, more rupees. Oh, we have rupees for days, and nothing else in mini Moldorm. Chat bringing up a good point. Problems IRL is one of those names that has been around for so long in the randomizer community and is so well known. If you're up against him, you might feel like you have to make gambles in order to have a chance to win.
Okay, and just a drain rupee drown there. Just gonna leave it behind. Penny in a puddle left for no one to pick up. Holy crap, the fire rod in the Ron cave.
What? What is this? Oh my gosh.
Problems IRL, Armin the walk. Armin the water walk here. I believe he got it right. Yeah, he did. So he's gonna have basically double fake flipper here, if he so chooses. But
oh my god, the cane!
Wow, the cane already. Oh,
this
man.
this is a seed that is just throwing everything that these runners are going to need at their face.
If they find the flute here, we might be seeing an early Vitreous.
Is that something you want to see? A 4 or 5 heart Vitreous? Really?
I mean, it'll be interesting. They have the bow. There are strats you can do with the bow.
Meanwhile, Problems is going to go over here. B- is about to pick up his fire rod and go, what is this seed doing to me? Problems going over here to Eastern. I imagine, knowing that it's a crystal, and one of the 5/6 crystals as well, I imagine he'll go ahead and clear this out.
Okay, so I missed what the green pendant was. Problems IRL still a little bit in Key Sanity mindset, it looks like.
A little bit.
Whoa!
There's the mirror. What? It's
And the silvers! Okay, well now I want to see the 4 heart Vicious with silver arrows.
okay. I might do it then. I mean, I would be comfortable for that. My goodness. Thieves Town was the green pendant that Sahasrara still gives you that intel, even though you don't necessarily need to talk to him. Waste the frames there.
And yes, in chat, this is Problems IRL, the actual best Find and Advise It player ever. Yeah, this seed is nuts! Looks like the only thing, though, that B-Minus has over him is the Titans, and he hasn't really used it. Like, he hasn't entered Dark World yet. So, not gain any advantage with it just yet. Problems could very easily still end up checking those eventually if he doesn't find Hammer. If he finds Hammer in here, it's going to change a lot. Probably going to push him to do Pod right after this if you were to find Hammer in here.
I would imagine so. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at B-. When you make a gamble like that and get such the advantage, you really want to push that advantage as best as you can, especially against a runner as high quality as Problems IRL. We'll see what ends up happening after this Eastern dip, though. Both these runners appear to be pretty proficient in the various methodologies of going through Eastern Palace, so just a matter of what will they find.
So far, it doesn't look like anything just yet. Man, I would love to see the legendary, like, everything's actually in Light World. Just give it to me once. I wouldn't mind having this seed end early and go to sleep. I'll be honest, I've been up since 4 a.m., so...
And and you're over in a pretty different time zone where you'd like to get some sleep, huh?
No. I'm in Central.
Oh, well, so am I.
Yeah. No, I've
Central
been up
buddies.
Since 4 a.m. Yeah.
All right. So Problems going through this dark room. Worth reminding everyone that because it's a dark room, anything past here is considered a sequence break at this point in time, at least in Eastern Palace. So it's not intended to do it. Now, both these runners are certainly capable of it, and just the logic wouldn't necessarily require them to do this.
Mm-hmm. Problems down the bid T here. Yeah, the only difference that these runners have right now is that Titan's Myth in the left Bontrock.
And our last item is going to be on the Armos Knights, and it's going to be a pretty quick Armos Knights fight with silvers. My God. I mean, this seed has just been so kind to these guys. Problem's got to be a little bit careful here, getting a little bit low on hearts. Never mind, he's back at almost... Oh my gosh. It's so weird at 4 hearts because you feel like you're on the verge of dying like every time you go.
Yeah. And you really got to be careful on a lot of these rooms in Eastern. A lot of the enemies here actually do a full heart of damage. And that is Armos down. Thanks to those silver arrows we got from Adina, or Sashrilla. Too many weird old men.
And B- skipping the big treasure chest and going right to...
Oh! Maybe forgot it?
Oh, and he's lost in this dark room right now.
He's not doing it the really clean way, and that is a death. I wonder if that's going to push him out. Oh, and he's probably going to get the Von Trots right here. And then probably go up to Death Mountain after checking Kin's Tomb. No, he's going right back in.
Yeah, right back in. We'll see what Problems does. Does he heads up?
Yeah, he's gonna. Oh no, he's not. Okay, these guys forgot Kin's Tomb existed. I don't know. Oh, he's gonna go to Dark World.
I mean, I don't see any reason not to at this point in time. The seed is pointing them towards Darkroot at this point in time. So that advantage that B- had at that point in time, getting those early Titansmiths completely erased. He did not do anything that required the Titansmiths. In the meantime, Problems caught up, got it, and is now in the Dark World.
Chet making a good point. He's going to do the Graveyard Ledge with that because he can in this case.
Oh, yeah, he has the mirror. Because, of course, he has the mirror.
Yeah, we got the nice little mirror addition to our arsenal. Who knows? Like, he's got so many. There's so many options when you find these specific items. I mean, Ice Palace is open via Fate Flipper to these runners, but it is a pendant. So is Misery Mire, which means that we might never see the flute. Thieves Town is also a pendant, so we might see Death Mountain after this, just because, hey, may as well go up to your crystal. Now, is he going to do Mothula? That's the question.
4 Heart Fighter Sword Mothula? Man.
He has bottles. He can play it super safe if he's confident enough.
Also worth noting, he can go ahead and get the King of Samaria now if he wants to. I mean, we know where it's at in that island. I don't know if B- has that knowledge.
We need the flippers.
Oh, right.
Yeah, can't fake flip to the Dark World Lake. There may or may not be some ultra complicated setup where you can water walk. I don't know.
I think there is, and I think I saw it in one match. It involves like dying as you're jumping off the water into the ledge.
I know about
by the fairy.
Yeah, fairy revival is a thing for sure. I just wasn't sure if a fake flare, but yeah, fairy revival is very possible. B- keep trying it. The way to do this is to hold out your sword when you go in there and just slowly like move up a very tiny amount. You can't do it too much. And then, oh, hey, look, full magic. How nice. Move up a very tiny amount. You don't want to go too far up because you'll hit things. And then shoot your arrows to the left. But he keeps using his magic on these guys. But there is a the problem is that there is a he can light up the torches. But he's going for Problems is going for Moth, which is insane.
Moth being very friendly, staying right in the middle of the room with these fire rod shots. That was an incredible Moth.
Okay, he is stopping.
Oh, so it looks like he's going to go over here and check this King's Tomb now. We've been salivating for this one.
Yeah, it's just been available for so long.
And a lamp.
Oh. See?
Oh, man.
He paused. He's going to go back, isn't he? He's going back. Yeah, he's persistent. No, go find your hammer, sir. Go find your hammer first and do both together with that mirror. I think at this point, this is how they say tilted might be the correct word.
This also might be just a pride thing at this point in time.
Possibly.
He died 3 times in the air. Yeah.
just with so much else to do. You have so much else. I mean, it does put it in logic. That is pretty interesting. That all that's in logic. Problems is going to end up with that very shortly as well, because he's going to check the mirror as well, and then maybe jump down and check, because we still don't know what's in there, right? Inside of the estate. Neither one had bombs.
They both had bombs, and they both checked it, and it was that hook shot, remember?
Oh yeah, you're right. No, never mind. I'm getting my seeds mixed up.
Flippers.
Oh boy. That cane is available.
Okay.
That turtle rock's a crystal. Oh, he's leaving that there, so I think he's gonna... Wow.
So...
And there's that lamp. He's gonna run to Death Mountain right now with that lamp, because that puts all of Death Mountain into logic.
Oh, absolutely, and that would be one of the first places I goes, and it looks like he's going right there.
So all we need right now is Samaria, the hammer, the ice rod, and another sword, which probably is in GT somewhere or on our way to these other items. There are like 15-ish items on Death Mountain altogether.
Yeah.
I would be fully in shock if we didn't find one of them. Problems hasn't even touched Village of Outcasts yet, because it's pinned at Thieves Town.
Yeah, this is
insane.
We're talking go mode possibilities here at 27 minutes. I mean, this is one of those seeds, and right now, with all the different levels and layers of the logic, Problems is absolutely doing what probably is expected of him right now, because he just got the lamp.
Well, I mean, he's also got 2 crystals down. I mean, that's impressive on its own, and one of those crystals is not an easy one to get done early. Trying to reset the super tile here to reset the guys. For anybody who's not super technically advanced in what the best super tiles are, essentially, if you think about a room in a dungeon, like the room that B- is in, that is a room. A super tile.
Oh.
What? There's the ice rod!
What?
Wow!
We're gonna be on like a 7-heart Ganon at this point in time. The game is just throwing progression at our faces.
Wow, okay. So super tiles, think of a big room like the lobby of Meyer. That whole room, that middle part, that third room, that is one super tile. And all rooms are in a super tile of some kind. There'll usually be multiple rooms that are all on the same thing. But this is insane. This seed. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to get that out there since I mentioned it. I didn't want to leave people hanging.
The hardest part about this seed right now, because it's throwing everything at these runners' faces at the moment.
There's so much to do.
There's so much to do, and the problem is they are still green hearts, or green mail, 5 hearts. Like, we're getting ready to go into some pretty serious dungeon difficulties with minimal room for error.
Even Death Mountain on 5 hearts is like, this is a thing that you do when you're very good at Link to the Past because you want to save like 1 second on Sanctuary Heart. But this is the health you have by skipping Sanctuary Heart to get here. We've already done Stall Woods with only 5 hearts. This is a top level seed.
This is one of those seeds that I think every runner dreams about getting. They're like, this is where I can really, really get my personal best time. And they're on pace for it, absolutely. It is worth noting that Problems does have 2 bottles. He was able to get his second bottle by doing that water walking glitch over to the hobo, who gave us vanilla bottle of all things. So even if you only have 5 hearts, Problems could make a detour and get some magic and get some potion refills if he so desires. More difficult with the flute, but do you do it if you're staring down a possible turtle rock dive at 6-7 hearts?
Okay, and there is Ice Rod for B-. We're gonna see what's up here. His problems is on 2 hearts, so I think he's opting to just, or maybe he'd count. Yeah, he might have item kind of has both items. Never mind. Oh yes, somebody pointed out we do need book or flute at this point. Flute wouldn't be the one we don't want, which is odd to say.
Yeah, how often do we say that?
We just don't want Meyer to come into play, really. If we really wanted this to be the super speed. So no.
Trolldorm gonna troll, his namesake, certainly holding true.
So now he's got to do this on 1 heart, and Moldorm does hit for 1 heart. So nice is you can actually charge through Moldorm. His hitbox is only his head. That's the only part that hurts. And if he's clicked off your sword, he doesn't hurt you. So, and if you charge through him, he won't hurt you. Just don't stop in the middle of him. That's bad. Oof. That was a little
That was close. He got backed up on that edge there again. So problems with his 3rd crystal at 31 minutes. There's a lot of seeds that we've seen in this tournament where if we're getting our 1st crystal right around this time, we're doing good.
Yeah, this is, and we still got all of East Death Mountain, both halves of it to go. I didn't even know that Silver's hit killed those guys. Huh.
Anything to kill those things. Those beetles, both red and blue, are just annoying.
We're going to start in Dark World, just to have a portal. Oh man, I kind of wish that Problems had the cane right now. He's gonna have to make another trip up here. But just where he got the flippers just wasn't conducive to going back down there. So if we're gonna have to see if it's Quake or not. You have to make another trip up the mountain.
I mean, if it is Quake, that certainly signals, or if he finds the medallion access and hammer as well. I think it's a calculated risk that Problems took right there.
Yep. I mean, he also doesn't have the hammer yet, but I mean, oh wow, there's not too much up on this mountain so far, other than that ice rod.
So far, yeah. I mean, the ice rod is absolutely nice. I get the feeling something's going to be in Hookshot Cave just with all the other progression that we've had and where everything is laid out. It feels like the Dark World area that locked behind those mitts is going to be where it's at.
Using the hookshot trick to hookshot through the blocks.
B- doing the exact same thing. Looks like he's going to be going over here to the east side of Death Mountain. A heart container. That feels nice. At least everything right now.
B- is doing a similar thing. Now we're going to see Hookshot Cave here. And what is the Tiarma? It's Bombos.
Okay, so if we don't find Bombos anywhere up here, so it's not going to save. It's not going to hurt Problems that he didn't go and get.
I think the Problems is going to go to Ice Palace after this, based on the way he's been playing. Oh no, you can't complete it. So, well, you can't complete any dungeon without that hammer that we have available. We need to find the book or the flute in here.
Well, we'll see what we have. Another heart container. I think they're doing all right now. Bloomerang. What else? Oh
Not
man.
nothing. Nothing on the mountain so far. There's still the spiral cave. And then it's just back to the overworld, of which we have a lot.
Yeah, we have so much overworld. We have, again, all of the Village of Outcasts. We also have the entire Zora area, which I imagine Problems will go check out once he is ready to pick up his cane. Well, I mean, he'd have to route around that to do that, wouldn't he?
Yep. Well, I mean, you can't do something without the hammer. You can only check the single chest in there. So he'll probably start in Village of Outcasts. He still has all of that to do. Start there, make his way through the southern part of Dark World with his mirror, or he's going to come here and go do something. No, he realized that he can't. His Canis Maria is way over on the island, so he's going to have to make essentially the very long and thorough loop from Village of Outcasts all the way to the Lake Hylia in the Dark World to grab his Samaria. Probably from there we'll continue north, go in all the way to Catfish, or he'll go to Pod. I'm not sure which one.
Well, I mean, he could pick up that and then also do Zora, and in the meantime do the Froggy World Tour at that point in time as well. It's just a matter of what decision he wants to do at this point, I think. Depends on what he picks up, I think, along the way.
This Ada, it cannot be an Ada seed because you can just swim to the east side of Dark World. We are not doing Ada for sure. Wonder if Problems is going to do Thieves Town, or at least the front half. Probably at least the front half.
Front half has 4 quick chests you can get, and there's 4 total items in Thieves Town total. So if you end up getting 2 or 3, it's a pretty safe bet. Now that green pendant for Thieves Town might make you second guess it, but it'd be worthwhile to at least check the first one.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's the 10 bomb.
And Problems is making the dive into Thieves. We'll see how far he goes in. Oh my god. Okay. Best cane in the world just got picked up. Cane of Berna. So we've got 1 item and the big key, so we'll see if these other 2 are dungeon items. Okay, there's a second, so we've cleared out half of Thieves Town in terms of its value. This last treasure chest is...
Oh, that's 3. Yeah, we're going to mirror out. There's no reason to go for 1 more item, especially when you can't even get all the items right now. It's just a big waste of time when it's on a crystal. So let's clear out some overworld that we know we can do.
Thieves Town, all the invincibility items, both Berna and Cape.
So with the mirror and the flippers, actually, it would be a really good idea for Problems to do the full, all the way around game. Also, he forgot to do race game, I think.
I thought he had checked race game and then saved and quit out.
Or sorry, not race game. The other one.
Shovel game.
Yep, digging game. Is Probs just did game? I'm not sure. He might forget. He forgot. You can't do the race game if this chest is anywhere. If you've touched the chest, it's on its neutral position. Even if it's sitting somewhere else completely different in the world, it won't talk to you. The guy really hates,
not at all.
The digging guy game really hates chests. He's actually just not even. He didn't even forget. He's just like, nah, I don't care. Using the hookshot glitch to dash with the chest.
And we'll see what's on this K45. More rupees.
We do not need those rupees.
Even after paying off Zora eventually, we could refill our bottles a couple times over. Just not needed at this point. So at this point, Problems is looking like he's going to be going over to Hype Cave. Oh no, you're going to do just the quick turn-in right away. Meanwhile, B- is going to check the digging game. There's Ether Medallion, so not the one we need for Turtle Rock.
Justin.
So if something is here for B- in this digging game, I mean, it could mark the difference of his making up quite a bit of time. Because again, this is another out-of-the-way location. I don't know if Problems would come back to it, but just 50 rupees. So Hype Cave, I don't know how much could possibly be left to be hyped about for Hype Cave.
I mean, a hammer would be pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie. Considering where we are, right by Swamp Palace, I'd be ecstatic. I'll take blue mail. I'll take health and blue mail.
For what everything else the seed has been giving us, absolutely.
There wasn't really much left, so I'll take a 50% increase in my health, essentially. We already know where Samari is. That's one item, just kind of, but oof.
Yeah, I'll give it a C+, B- Cave.
Where we are right now, I'll take health too. I'd be pretty hyped about health with this.
Problems, of course, picking up his...
Good question. Is Problems going to dive a dungeon he can't complete, or is he going to go all the way to Catfish? If he goes all the way to Catfish, he can mirror and do Zora and the Waterfall Cave. He never did Waterfall Cave, by the way, when he was there the first time. He went to Hobo and I think left after that. Note that B- did not get his flippers from the mirror ledge in the graveyard mirror ledge. And it looks like Problems is at least going to the pyramid.
It's a solid check and one that it's easy to forget at this point in time, so I'd like the check. B- is going to have to figure out, because it feels like those flippers are going to lead to something eventually.
Just a 20.
B- looks like he's likely going to go up and grab the... I don't know what he's doing. Never mind. Oh, dive into thieves. Okay.
Huh? Same thing Problems did. Just a piece of heart. And we are seeing that mirror and going to do the rest here.
More rupees. Is that just about all of our 300 rupees?
I think so at this point.
So if nothing is here, what other overworld locations do we possibly have?
Not many. I think we're going to have to start touching the dungeons. Agina is a place.
Oh, Agina.
Zora's Ledge is just a full heart. Not worth it to run that far away for, I think. Maybe if you're really desperate. Yeah, and B- making the same play, and there's just a 5-bomb upgrade.
Possibly B- is heading up to do Skull Woods now, which, of course, Problems already did. He's a little bit better outfitted for it. Blue Mail, same Fire Rod, no half magic at this point in time, so it'd be just a little bit better for it.
Oh, Problems jumping down by accident.
So where do we go from here? Do we gamble that... I mean, what gambles are made? Because everything that we're looking for is kind of out of the way at this point.
He's definitely going to pod right now because it's just the farthest one to get to. By far. You have to like run across a river, jump down. It's just a lot of nonsense to get there. So we're gonna be taking this path. Go over there, and we can at the very least do right side in the mirror, and then do the middle part. And so we're not locked out. There's a decent chance the hammer's there. The hammer is locking pretty much the entire seed right now. But hammer go mode would be really good.
All right, and B- took a death to refill some hearts here. Going to be trying to get this bomb jump. And another death for B-.
I'm not sure. That one looked intentional. Possibly. Yeah,
Possibly.
I think it was dying to do a refill.
So first treasure chest had a key, and this treasure chest has a key. If the first two treasures have the key, that's almost a guaranteed likelihood that big vanilla big key location is also a small key. Isn't that right?
I don't remember the small key crap. Sorry. It's too much. Figuring out little finesses in the logic like that. It is also a small key as it turns out. I don't remember.
There are some interesting
the big
logic
key.
things. So big key.
Okay. Now, are we gonna find the hammer on right side? Because that would be pretty sweet. That would be something I don't think I've seen before, and it would be one of the worst locations for it, other than it being just strictly vanilla. And yes, in Ice Palace is another bad one.
Ice Palace is what I'm kind of worried about right at the moment. Is the problem. Because it's absolutely possible, but so few runners dip Ice Palace without the hammer because it unlocks so much of that dungeon.
Again, the big question is, if we find the book before the flute, that's a pretty good sign of the seed staying fairly normal. It was a really bursty start where it just gave us access to pretty much everything. And we're going to see the hammering up from Problems here. And very few buffers.
First time, easy every time. Shovel, oh no. So it's entirely in logic. than for us to have to come in here, get the shovel, go back out, do the dig game, and Hammer could be there.
Of course it is. I mean, of course that's in logic. It's just whether or not it would be pretty nice.
So B minus about to start. Oh, and he has a bee in his bottle pulled out. He's going to be using good bee strats on Mothula.
That is a good way to get yourself murdered by Mothula's hitbox. I think it only deals fighter sword damage, and it just kind of makes Mothula jump around the room. So I'm not sure. Yeah, and it doesn't actually last forever. It just lasts longer than the average bee.
Yeah,
I think
now
he has
we're
a blue potion. Yeah, this fight is rough.
And Problems did pull the hammer.
Wow! Okay,
Wait.
well, we can just kind of do all the dungeons now.
At this point, yeah, we're looking for bombos for go mode. That's it.
Yeah,
Plus, I forget, we have our Desert Palace access we still need. So book or flute?
I mean, Book, obviously. I'd much rather see Book in the seed. Keep
Absolutely.
the momentum going. I think what's going to happen is Problems is going to go to Ice, and then... Oh, no, he has the hammer now, so he can... Yeah, he'll go to Swamp and then Ice, because that's the more logical way. He's going to run, go do that. He's going to save and quit, do that, go to Ice via the Dark World, and just knock out 2 more dungeons right out the bat. If we
Just
find
boom,
Bombos,
good.
Book, or Flute, then there we go.
Oh, and Problems using Ether in this room.
Absolutely. You absolutely do that in this room, the way it is. I'd love to see B- whip out his silver arrows here and knock out these Gibdos if he's worried about them and he wants to conserve his magic. But the way he's doing it is fine, coming all the way up here kind of throws them off.
Oh, and chat pointing out the other thing, Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness were our 2, 5, 6 crystals. Do you go ahead and do the Fat Fairy now?
Yeah,
Since
probably.
you're here?
Well, I mean, you're still saving quit in to go to Swamp, so depends. Maybe you do Swamp and then run up. I don't know. There's a lot. Again, there's a lot you have access to.
So yeah, the seed kind of opened up the entire world to us early on and then collapsed down and really probably bottlenecks around that hammer, and then it's back to being wide open for us. So there was
abandoning Mothula, unable to do it with the hearts and lack of magic.
and probably
he's
just
going to
going
Swamp.
right to Swamp, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So there was a question in chat, and I kind of want to address it between that and a few other things. So they asked, what the little stars next to the crystals and pendants mean. That is an accessibility issue that the developers programmed in several versions ago. The stars next to the crystals are the 5-6 crystals, which means once you get the 2 of them, you can unlock the Pyramid Fairy, which is what we've been talking about. The star next to the pendant is the green pendant, which means as soon as you get that, you can get the item that is on Sahasrara. Now, in addition to the accessibility issues for that, for people who may have some colorblindness issues, you'll notice both B- and ProblemsIRL have blue hearts and green hearts, respectively. That's another accessibility feature that was added in the latest version of Randomizer for people who might have trouble seeing the color red with their heart container. So all those features designed explicitly for accessibility reasons.
And Problems now moving. Oh, it looks like B- is about to get his flippers. Gonna break open the seat a little bit more.
I'm sure he's happy to see that. Unfortunately, about 20 to 25 minutes after Problems got that, so that might be the difference here. Looks like B- is going to be going up here to check the Zora area. Problems, meanwhile, putting good use to that hammer, unlocking most of Swamp Palace. We'll see what we have here.
Yeah, being able to full clear up this dungeon, we are still looking for 2 more items. So the super fast seed kind of slowed down back to a normal pace, but we'll see. We could still see sub-hour go mode if everything lines up. Otherwise, I mean, we are just going to be full clearing dungeons, and that's fine too.
Yeah, I think it was kind of in the back of your head that it's a possibility you can go mode Swamp Palace if you get things to line up just right. Not going to be able to do that, unfortunately.
So now, one thing is, B-Minus's only shot is to really clear out either Thieves' Town, somebody in chat said, or, and really that's it, because Problems won't go there for a very, very long time. So if something's there, and that leads to the last thing, then that will put him ahead. But with this seed being so difficult, that can be a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem with some of these really early item required seeds is the logic does not take into consideration how much health you have. Absolutely. So if you have to do 5 Heart Mothula, sometimes you have to do 5 Heart Mothula, and the seed doesn't care. Not that B- has to do 5 Heart Mothula, but still, probably not quite as equipped as he would like to be.
I think the only boss that progression-wise requires like weapons that are better. I want to say that like Trinex has some weird requirements on him, like with half magic in your sword level. But since the hammer, those don't come into play, because you'll always have the hammer for him.
So Problem's checking the right side of Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, nothing here, so he will be on his way to the back end.
Yeah, the fact that we have the ice rod is nice. Again, we'd want to find Book and then Bombos, that's just the nicer way. Just Book being in Turtle Rock would kind of put a damper on the seat, or Flute for that matter. But yeah, what we definitely don't want to see is Flute. Flute before Bombos is bad.
That, I mean, just because that opens up all the Mire area, and Mire itself is such a long dungeon. Only 2 items there. It's a pendant. You'd rather avoid it if you can. Problem's got to be a little bit careful here. Half a heart.
And there's our Master Swords. There we go.
That's nice.
When you're dungeon diving like this in dungeons with lots of items left, that's why you'll generally find that runners and commentators will consider whoa, there it is!
Bombos.
That's okay. I mean, again, as long as we don't find the Flute before. I mean, actually, now you don't care if it's Flute or Book. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
now
we
we're
know.
looking for either one. That opens up the seed actually a little bit. So we'll probably still see ice actually is a crisp pendant. I don't know how I didn't see that before. Yes, we're doing a TR.
At Turtle Rock, it's funny because that's going to be our 6th out of 7th crystal. Presuming Problems doesn't have any problems with Argus here, and I don't anticipate him doing so. But 6th out of 7th crystal, and it's still pretty unhealthy, all things here.
The pet is dead, as they say. In chat.
Yeah, the only dungeon we do not have access to.
Oh, we're seeing Agenda.
Ooh, man! If it's here,
If Butch is here, that's that could be good for him if he goes to if he goes to Pod soon. But Pod having Hammer is a little rough. Oh, we haven't checked the shovel spot yet. Huh. Huh.
Yep, fetch quests. That could be a thing. Do you check those things before you go up?
I think I checked. Yeah. There's nothing at Gina. There's the big key. I don't remember if we found both the items, if we have to go back in or not. We'll find out in a second from Problems.
So B- on his way, leaving the area now. Really, the issue is we know where he needs to go. He needs to make a dip into Palace of Darkness for that hammer. That's kind of where his logic is bottlenecking him at this point. Also worth noting, we could probably do hammer pegs while we're over in the area, checking the shovel game. And there's the flute. That's go mode.
Wow! In the Swamp Palace, that's insane. What are you doing, bro? Just oh, what? Where is he going?
Where are you? Problems. You're in go mode.
You're in go. Is he checking?
Is he checking? Where? Problems. Problems, please.
I actually have no idea where he's going. I'll be completely honest. What?
Oh, he's picking up potions because.
Oh,
okay.
Sure. Okay. Because he can't pick up the blue potion easily.
So he's picking up
Right.
red potion. He did get rid of his.
Pick up red potion. Okay, sure. Yeah, he's reloading his potions. I love this. Because it's too long of a walk to go to, because he's only got 7 hearts. Oh no.
I mean,
nuts.
my. And,
oh,
and
8 hearts, okay.
And the thing is, he's going to flute over to do Desert Palace from the Mire area. Oh my god, this is insane. He's going to be able to do the Mire, get the desert area, go up to Turtle Rock, go mode Turtle Rock effectively. He's going to have to be real careful with his magic while he's up in Turtle Rock fighting Trinex.
I think B- might be making the play to Pod.
Yeah, going up to Catfish first, looks like. And, this is one of those seeds that I'm sure that B- probably doesn't think he's doing too bad with all the progression that he has up to this point in time. The deaths might make him wonder what's going on, might make him feel a little bit behind. But with the progression that he has at an hour, that's not bad. However, Problems is now in go mode.
Okay. We just gotta find that bitchy. That's all we need.
Yep, simple big key. Hoping for it here so you don't have to make a long trek down a hallway. Nope.
Yeah. Or you kind of wants to see Tempered.
Yeah, I think Tempered would really put Problems at ease. Difference between Tempered and Master Sword Cannon is just night and day. And yeah, he's done. He's like, nope, not even going to check this last one. Tempered could have been in the last chest.
Oh, B minus got to be very careful. He's only got one heart going into the Palace of Darkness area.
Yeah, so not only would Kiki completely abandon you if you got hit, and Murderdactyl.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see Problems fight. He'll have 6 shots with his Fire Rod left, and 6 shots total needed. He's going to pull off this silver, so that makes a little bit more sense.
Oh, missed the one cycle there because it's the short hop, but gets it there.
And there's Problem's 6th crystal. We're on her way up to Go Mode Turtle Rock. Now, about the only thing you could do in Go Mode Turtle Rock is possibly pass Laser Bridge. Up until that point in time, you're still hunting for big keys and small keys really to get you through all the doors. So,
yeah, Turtle Rock really doesn't change much between a full clear and not. Just like you were saying, it's a pretty plain dungeon. Doesn't really change no matter what like the layouts are.
No, the big thing for Problem's sake is that he found the Bombos and then he went ahead and found that flute. So he's only going to have to make this one trip up Death Mountain. I mean, he made one trip earlier and then this one. Only having to go up Death Mountain twice is pretty nice. I think you might get your wish zone. I think this might be a pretty early match for you.
I think it is going to be. This is going to be like sub 130, I think.
Now, the problem that you have if you're in Problems mode of thinking right now, you are going this fast, but you have to presume that your opponent is right on your tail at this point in time. It would be too easy to say, oh, I've done everything perfectly right. If you can do it that fast, your opponent can too. And B minus finally taking the dive into Pod. We know it's what he needs to do. It's just a matter of when he's going to pick up that hammer and then go ahead and complete the dungeon.
At least B minus is going to get his hammer sometime, at least relatively shortly.
And there's the big key, so Problems absolutely gets that relatively quickly. I imagine he'll steal the key from the Pokey and just keep on trucking at this point.
Okay, and we're going to see Problems continue on through here, again through the dangerous chain shot room. He's going to be able. There's quite a few ways to do this. That's one of them.
Oh, I love that strat. Oh, kicking the block. That's swag.
And doing a item dash with Samaria to basically kick it in the right spot. And then you quickly move over into the blocks before using it and push it over.
That room that Problems is in
yeah.
has got to be one of the laggiest rooms ever.
Yeah, there's just a lot of enemies in it. It's actually on 2 different super tiles, so when the enemies follow you... Oh, and there's the hammer. That's where it was. When the enemies follow you through, it can be pretty weird looking. But the enemies at the top of the room and the bottom of the room aren't active at the same time unless they follow you. So when those anti-fairies follow you all the way down, that's what causes the delay. There's just too many enemies and sprites on the screen.
So Problems opting to go ahead and check this chest. It is a key.
That would have turned out very poorly if he had skipped that chest.
Yeah, that means he can completely skip Laser Bridge now, doesn't it?
I believe so, yeah. Now, if he does or not, depends. He might still look for that tempered sword. And the fact that he's still open in chest leads me to believe that that is the case. Let's see if he does decide to skip it or not, because tempered is a pretty big time save. Now, he doesn't know that he's this far ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, and he completely skips that Laser Bridge. So, and here's the other Kana Samaria dash that I absolutely love seeing that done right. So
he's not checking the bridge. That's fair enough. Just wants to get this done as quickly as possible.
And he's going to be using hammer strats here. Absolutely probably the most efficient way to do it. Even though you're menuing back and forth, it is still much, much easier than doing it any other way.
And then switch into Fighter Sword a bit for the Ice Edge, just get a few extra hits in. You actually Fire Sword this part down if you've done it right. If you want to save, you can just like Master Sword, do a combination of Master Sword and Fire Rod, and it will usually work out. He is left with a bunch of magic though, so he did that fight really well.
That's about as well as you can do that Master Sword Trinex fight there, and he's got it down. Wow.
Very good fight there from ProblemsIRL.
Absolutely, and that is ProblemsIRL's 7th crystal. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Randomizer community, I turn your attention to the chat. We are about to start everyone's favorite game here on Randomizer. There are 22 possible locations for the Ganon's Tower Big Key to be located. If you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming Network channels or have donated at least 250 bits aggregate, you could be entered into our leaderboard 1 through 22. Get those guesses in chat. Mr. Zelda's TV, what's going to be your guess?
I always say 22, so we see the whole tower.
That'd be nice. I think I'm going to go with 8 myself. I like the Firebar room. All right, so B minus gets Helmasaur down right as Problems IRL is entering and Blue Goo.
Nice. And half magic. Oh, nice.
So with those two items there, it actually locks out that right side, so he's forced to go to this left side first. And there's another what?
Okay, well, I guess he didn't really need to do that shopping trip for those red potions.
Hindsight's 20/20. I mean, I would still have done it, but who knows? I mean, 2 bottles in the first 3 locations in Ganon's Tower. What?
I mean, now you just basically tape the entire Ganon fight.
And there's
oh! Wow, you really do get to tape the entire Ganon fight. Okay. So that's 7 items there.
It's like, what? Really? And this is one of those reasons why, you know, a lot of runners aren't necessarily worried depending on how they're equipped going into Ganon's Tower, because you have to open so many treasure chests. There's Sight Cart on number 8.
Nice. Yeah, so the way that Ganon's Tower works, especially if you end up with a lot of, if you end up with not a lot of hearts going in, the way that Ganon Tower works is that it fills anywhere between 0 and 15 of the items in here are filled in with junk. Junk being money, arrows, upgrades, hearts, piece of hearts, etc. Anything that isn't progression or equipment of some kind. So a Y, A, or B item, it's like a sword, or helms, mails. Those are all considered good items. So junk items are everything else. So GT usually ends up being stacked with health if you just don't find any health and all you find is 20s and such.
All right, here comes the randomizer room. B minus just checked the Pyramid Fairy, didn't find anything. And Butter
There's
Sword.
the golden sword.
And
the big key. So unfortunately for B minus, this means that no matter what he does, he's not gonna find anything better than a Master Sword. And this is definitely what they would call a low percent seed. Just doesn't have a lot for our runners available. And that does make it quite difficult. Even if you are experienced at Randomizer, these don't really come up that often, honestly.
Yeah, so let's see. That was number 13 for problems. That's, I mean, man, he's armed to the teeth now. He found lots of health. I mean, he's now sitting at 11 hearts, Butter Sword, silvers. He's about as well equipped as you could want to go into Ganon's Tower at this point.
Yeah, he is stacked at this point. Only thing missing is the red mail. He's even gonna spend one of his hearts to get through this quickly. B minus not going where he needs to go. All he has to do is go to Swamp Palace and he'll be golden for the rest of the seed.
Golden sword? Uh-huh.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm not cross product or Elminster.
We have a lot of pun masters in the community.
I'm not funny. I just know the thins and how they work and why they work. That's all.
That's fair. We need people to balance it out. Different voices, different styles. Makes for entertaining commentary. All right, so problems with his silver arrows. Lanmo 2, the Revenge of Lanmo, and it looks like he's set up for the 0 cycle.
There it is.
B minus on his way into Swamp Palace, which is where we find the rest of our go mode, of course. Now he's going to have to enter back in. Remember, we found the big key on Argus, and then the rest of it, the flute was in the big treasure chest. So he's going to have to double dip back in.
Yeah. Now he could also save a little bit of time on his run by doing left side first. Sorry, right, by skipping left side, and that would end up being right, because he'll hit the big key, and then come back in, get his flute, and be like, hey, I don't have to do left side. Yay. Aren't I so smart?
That feels good when you can make a good gamble like that. Now, I don't know if he will or not, just because of if you're going in with 2 items that you know you need for go mode, sometimes you want to go ahead and make that play. Although he finds Bombos relatively early, as I remember.
I want to say Bombos was in the southern chest.
I think so. So if he's heads up, he'll go ahead and do it. But I'm not entirely confident that he won't still do left side. Problems on his way to Aghanim now. Nice early setup by Aghanim. Gets the double. Didn't quite get the triple out of there, unfortunately. This is a little bit more like the Aghanim we know and love.
This is a decent Aghanim setup here. Even sneaks in that second hit, even with the blue balls.
Oh, and yeah, gets
that's
the one hit.
And B- is doing left side, it looks like. So he will be doing the full dungeon.
And Problems IRL at 122 is on his way to fight Mr. Blue Bacon himself. We'll see how quickly he can do. I mean, the sub 125 is absolutely it possible at this point in time. This is crazy. And he's not even wasting his magic. I mean, he's like, nah, I'm just going to dodge these.
May as well. He's one cycle in it. And in the second hit, lots of teleports here. Come on, Dan, don't steal the sub.
That would be heartbreaking if just Ganon teleports stole it. But he's... All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, this is a nice setup here. Triple! Oh, wow!
That was really good. We saw the triple. It came. Problems steals the sub 124, it looks like.
Oh my goodness. GG. Problems IRL looks like an official speedracing.tv time of 1:23:52. Woo!
Yeah, that was an insane seed.
That's those seeds that I think runners dream about getting right there. Just a nice low percent seed. Everything seems to be laid out very well for you. You dipped into Thieves Town for really some unnecessary safeties in Burna and Cape. Otherwise, you could completely ignore
all three pendants.
All three pendants.
It's pretty actually kind of nuts. Gets his Master Sword. Oh, you know what? The bomb. Where is Bombos? He doesn't have it yet. Oh, it was right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you could completely skip left side too. Yeah, Problems is honestly a beast, and here is said beast.
Hello.
Hello, Problems. How does that feel?
Shoutouts to Ganon's Tower for spoon feeding me literally everything I could have asked for.
Okay, chat wants to know what was up with the red potion purchase after you got the flute.
I don't know. After my plan was to finish up Swamp and then buy potions and go to Ice because I was really low on health.
Right.
So after I found that flute, I was in go mode. I was like, hey, I might as well buy those red potions. The shop is really close.
Right.
In retrospect, I should have activated the flute and bought blue potions.
Yes.
But little did chat know that I had God Vision, and I knew I would get 2 blue potions in the end of tower.
Which you didn't need after you found the golden sword.
Yeah, and half magic for that matter.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a slick. That was a slick run. Slick run.
Thank you. That's probably the best execution I've had in a while.
I
was really happy.
Chat did not believe the 5-heart Stalwarts. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chat. I don't think chat believed.
I mean, that was about as friendly as a Mothula fight. He just kind of set up in the middle of the room. And was like, yeah, sure, shoot me with the fire rod.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that was. This whole run went pretty smooth. Like it allowed me to stay out of Thieves Town because there were 3 items in the front, so I didn't want to go deep. The hammer lined up nicely just when I needed it. You know, a lot of things just worked out here.
Yeah, and then that dip. I thought the dip into pod, even though you didn't have the hammer, it felt like that was what you needed to do, but it's still kind of a little bit risky going in there, even without hammer. Sometimes, isn't it?
It didn't feel too risky at that point because my only options were 2 items in Thieves Town, Digging Game, which was a huge mistake to skip, by the way. That was not intentional. It kind of just happened. And then I had an item in Swamp and a few in Ice Palace.
Oh,
and all of that verse. Sorry.
B- didn't go back in to the Swamp.
Oh no, he beat Argus and then left. Buckle up, guys. This might be a bit.
Well, we don't know where the book is, and we'll just show up soonish. Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah, you don't need the flute this seed. You can find the book and be fine.
Right, but where? I mean, not necessarily what the book is in. You didn't check all of Desert, and you didn't check anything in my area, so it could be in either of those.
Yes.
So how'd you feel about the early part of this seed that literally handed you the entire world and says, please, just do whatever you want to do. It's cool.
It was pretty nice. I like both start because it basically means you can go to Eastern immediately.
Yep.
So that was kind of nice, especially since I got Cane of Burna in both of my other tournament races, and I hate Cane of Burna. But yeah, there were a lot of options, and it was hard to decide on where to go, right? Especially once those myths showed up. Part of me wanted to get the Cane of Samaria before going up to Death Mountain, because at that point I was really close to being able to do T-Rock, especially with the Ice Rod being up there. Then there was the decision of whether I want to go to Thieves Town, when I want to go to Thieves Town, how early do I want to go to Skull Woods, do I want to do Skull Woods with 5 hearts, which at some point I just decided, let's do it. Why not? There's a lot of places you could have gone, which always makes for an interesting seed from a viewer's perspective, I feel, but as a runner, it always leaves that, that feeling in your stomach of okay, there's a million decisions, and I gotta kind of just, guess where I'm supposed to go. I have no idea. It could be anywhere. My next piece of progression could be anywhere, and I feel like I kind of just got lucky with my routing here, and that I kind of just beelined to all the important items.
So going through that Swamp Palace, you had 2 items for Go mode, Bombos and Flipper Brook. When you were going through there and you get Bombos, you're like, oh god, am I going to have to back out and double dip, or what am I going to have to do?
Mm-hmm.
What were you were you just hoping that you wouldn't find anything else at that point in time, or what was your thought process as you were going through?
I was going back in hopes of finding Go mode, obviously. I usually do left side early, and for the most part, I think it's a more consistent play is what I read. But it kind of worked against me here because I had to go back in for that one item. But I still wanted to go in because at that point, I felt pretty good about my position in this race, right? Because everything at that point worked out really well. So I was kind of just hoping to find go mode in Swamp Palace, I guess, because the next logical play after Swamp is to go to Ice, which is a pendant, right? Because I'm right there. I'm not going to go anywhere else when I'm right next to Swamp, to Ice, sorry. So I was kind of just hoping to get there in Swamp. That's why I went back.
Yeah, and turns out it was absolutely right there. And it didn't matter at that point in time if it was the book or the hook or the flute, because you had bombos.
Yes, yes.
So you said you felt pretty good.
I probably would have done Fat Fairy before Ice Palace, but that's pretty much about it.
So you said you felt pretty good about that entire run. Did you feel like you were ahead, like you were making the right plays all the time?
Yes. I felt really far ahead. Like everything just seemed to line up and work out. Like wherever I went, it would give me the next piece of progression for me to continue the seed. Like I figured I was ahead, you know. So I kind of just banked on that and tried to not take any more risks, right? Because if I think I'm ahead and I skip that big chest and it has progression, the progression I need, then I'm in a really bad spot. So I'd rather spend those few seconds going back into Swamp when I think I'm ahead than taking the risk of losing like half an hour if there's the item I need.
So 3-0, you're off to just kind of a blistering start in this tournament. Is there anyone, late in the 3-0 rounds in the third round, anyone on that list that you want to see come up next week? Anyone you don't want to see coming up next week?
I haven't been keeping up too much. Like, it's a really huge tournament, so I frankly don't know all the people that are 3-0. But I mean, I know Andy is 3-0. He's not in the bracket stage yet, right? Is he? I'm not even sure.
No.
No, wait, Andy is in brackets, right?
No, Andy was like did not do top 8. He was
okay.
He lost the round of 16.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, I definitely don't want to race Andy. For sure. It's kind of funny because like all my close friends like Error, Smite, Spoody, they're all 3-0. So, you know, as these rounds progress, there's actually a pretty decent chance that I'm gonna actually have to play against some of the guys that I discuss Rando with a lot. So that'd be kind of cool, but at the same time, it wouldn't, because you know I don't want us to steal, quote unquote, steal points from each other. But yeah, I don't know really who else is 3-0, so I don't know what to expect.
All right, B- is in Turtle Rock now, still doesn't have that flute, so I imagine he's going to be doing the entire laser bridge, hoping for something. Maybe the book's there? We're not entirely sure yet. So he's going to have to be doing some extra checks.
And unfortunately, he's probably going to clear out pendants unless he finds the book.
And at this point, the book could absolutely logically be in Ganon's Tower, which would really be bad for Beam Dynasty. It might be a long, long time before we see where he goes from here. But GG, again, problems. Do you have anything else you want to add? Or thoughts about the tournament, the seed, or anything?
This was Jet Seed, which is nice because the last few ones I ran in tournament settings, like both in the Key Sanity and this tournament, were all pretty slow. So I'm glad I got a fast seed for once, and I also managed to route it pretty well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next few rounds.
Awesome. Well, once again, GG to Problems IRL. Again, if you like what you see from Problems or B- or either of our runners, go ahead and give them a follow here on Twitch. Thanks again, man.
Thank you very much.
You. And have a good rest of the race.
Yeah, thank
I'm gonna
you.
hop out. See you guys.
Good rest of your night.
Thank you.
B- going to check this big key chest. I think this is just going to be a key. Oh no, it's another heart.
Yeah, and B- gonna, like we said, it's unfortunate they missed that one chest. He's gonna be on a much longer seed. This could take quite a while unless he finds the book in some other location. I don't know when he'd check that.
And at this point in time, he does see Problems finished, so he figures it's somewhere. I think he might be trying to read that it's along the breadcrumbs that he's currently on right now. I don't think he realizes he has skipped it at this point.
Yeah, this how? Oh, you got it. I wasn't sure about that one.
Oh, and a nice magic refill right before the end. So, what's in Mimic K? And just a shield. So we will be able to see what's on the laser bridge then. B-, I could see B- actually taking a death right here because he's at half a heart just to get some refills.
Oh, he got stuck in the block a bit. Oh no, he wasn't. Oh no.
And that's a bad feeling when you know you made a mistake and that roller's just coming at you for the
I
death.
was like, oh, he's stuck, and I was like, oh wait, no, he shouldn't be stuck. No, he wasn't. Yeah, so B-. Yes, well, this was a fairly jetty seed. This is very linear. I'll let you know, it's super open. It's just like problems made it look linear.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, like it opened up wide and then it kind of bottlenecked there around the hammer in pod. But at that point in time, it was really the only thing that you can do.
The thing is that hammer and pod really led you, okay, well, I guess swamp is absolutely the next thing to do. And then, well, once you're done swamp, oh wow, I have everything. It's like, it just happened. B-, beyond the deaths he was catching up from those, he has, at this point, skipped the bit chest, which has his required item.
Tried to save magic. There's powder. That's
Oh.
going to lead him on another goose chase here. And laser to the face.
He didn't skip pod, he skipped bid chest in swamp. Did I say pod? I'm not sure why I would even say that. Whoops. Oh, and he doesn't know laser skip. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, and this is going to be rough because the lasers do a ton of damage to you. Oh, well, there's your shield. That's rude.
Huh? He's mirroring?
He has everything he needs to defeat Trinex, but I don't know if he's comfortable.
Uh-oh. I mean, he's not comfortable doing that, then this is his equipment. He doesn't get anything else.
Yeah, we know both the other two swords are in Ganon's tower. Problems pick them both up in quick succession. We also know he's not going to get any more bottles for safeties because the other two bottles are early on in Ganon's tower.
He's grabbing blue potions, it looks like. No? Does he not know he can just
Maybe.
hop across the river? Doesn't know he can hop across the river. It's thick.
He's going to let this good bee go. So he had two good bees, and then he's going to refill on magic, I imagine. Oh, don't buy two blues. He's going to buy two blues, and then refill on blues, and then buy... I guess he has the magic. He has the money, so...
Yep. Oh, please go back to swamp. Please, 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 please. He won't, but...
He won't, unfortunately. So, which pendant dungeon is he going to dive after beating Trinex and nothing being there? I mean, I guess it has to be... It can't be Misery Mire, and he's already mostly cleared Thieves Town, so I imagine he's going to dip Ice Palace? And let's be clear to everyone in chat, this is something that happens, I think, to even the very best rando runners. So you brain fart, you accidentally skip something. This is not indicative of being much of skill as a runner. It happens to the very best of us. The goal is to just minimize the number of times that it happens to you. I mean, you heard Problems in the interview say he accidentally skipped Digging Game. And if something would have been a Digging Game, this has been a whole different conversation.
Or in Thieves Town, which is how he's lost to Seed before. A very important match. I can't remember which one, but I know he missed an important match because of that.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, it just happens, unfortunately. And the really unfortunate part is because there is literally nothing to pull him into that direction to double check. Luckily for him, he's got another way into Desert Palace. The problem is we don't know where that other item is. Oh, and thank you to chat going over there, checking B-Minus's personal stream, and he does show that Swamp Palace is full cleared on his personal, so he has
okay.
miscounted items.
Well, let's hope that that book is not in GT. Realized he's already gotten this and can just rush this way.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there. You saw him with the pull.
So you can't just count.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to be real sure of those sorts of things. And
I only mark my items.
yeah, me too. It's just one of those things you have to do.
And we're going to see him attempt Trinets now.
Yep, I mean, he'll be, I think, better equipped than the Problems was for this. He'll still have Master Sword, so he'll probably have to Master Sword Hammer, but he'll certainly have more hearts going through here. And thus begins Trinex for B-.
And there's one down.
Didn't get the prevention of the mirror at that point in time, but has kept the floor clean, which is absolutely nice.
And uses potion. And not super confident with the hammer, which is understandable. It is a very difficult fight.
B- gets him down. Will be a little bit disappointed in the last item. So I got to imagine he's going to dip down into Ice Palace at this point in time.
Okay, and now we'll start seeing some places we haven't seen yet. Looks like, hopefully he remembers. I hope he's not going to GT. He's probably going to Spike Cave, but
Yeah, I think this is going to be a Spike Cave check. The first time up here, he did not have the hammer.
yeah, it is okay. Interesting thing is you can actually use the cane and walk through here with no problems.
And just $20. All right, so B-, where do you go from here? Show us your logic.
Probably Thieves Town. That's Green Pendant.
He might also be refilling his potions before he goes to somewhere else. Oh, Thieves Town, it looks like.
But we also know there's no more safeties. There's nothing else. He can also check that when he wants. There's nothing that's gonna help him like do these better.
Yeah, I think that's the most tragic thing out of all of this is we know where the next two swords are and we know where the other two bottles are. And that's it at this point in time in terms of what could possibly help him out. Red mail, maybe. That's still out there somewhere. I think he might be tilted. He might be starting to look for items now, but he is going to check the magic bat now, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to seriously get worried that the book actually is in Ganon's tower, and this is going to be all for nothing.
Yeah, he missed the bid chest. Just for everyone who's here wondering, man, Problems has been done for 30 minutes. What? Basically, what happened is Problems checked the bid key chest. The bid key was on Argus. He went back in. Pretty normal play when you're still looking for an item. B- has mismarked his tracker, and as far as he's concerned, he has checked every item in that dungeon, so he will probably not go back.
Nope. And I mean, we could run into the book at any point in time. So the nice thing about B-, he has two things going for him before he gets to that stage where he can't check anything else. One, he absolutely knows that if that flute can't be on the pedestal. So if flute's is go mode item, there's got to be some way to get into there without being on the pedestal. But if he's still looking around, I mean, he's going to be clearing out Ice Palace. He's doing Thieves Town right now. I think that's all the overworld locations he can possibly check. So Thieves Town, Sahasrahla, and Ice Palace. If he doesn't find the book, he's going to start having to backtrack and see if he missed something.
Okay, and we're gonna see what is up here in this chest. Like, there's one more item here. Well, two, just green pendant. To be in the bid key chest.
B-, what you need is in a similar shaped box that you're checking now,
Yeah.
just not here.
Just different, slightly different.
Yeah, if book ends up being locked behind, in Ganon's tower or in Misery Mire, locked behind the flute in any capacity, this could get long, very, very fast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see where the items land.
B- with the nice kill, and just a big 20. Green pendant, so turn it into Sahasrara. Then maybe,
Ice
yeah.
Palace. It's definitely
he-
Ice Palace.
He hasn't checked shovel yet either. I guess he could go over there.
Yeah. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure he checked shovel already.
Oh yeah, he did.
I'm positive he did.
Oh, he's pulled out his mirror. Where's he going here?
I'm not sure.
Oh, he's going to Sahasrara.
Right. Okay.
Not quite sure what's up with the mirror though, but
We are at least gonna see everything in this seed, I guess.
I mean, it's nice. It's absolutely nice. Oh, Sahasrara with
just 5
just some
bombs.
bombs.
Oh,
And the frustration. And it does look like B- is thrown in the towel.
okay, so that's the he realized that he's missed something because I think he's thinking that can't be an ice at this point if problems finished at 123. That he's realized if it was an ice, it would have been a longer seed, right? Because Problems is a very good runner. He knows that he died a bunch, so that might be lingering in his head. So, not a bad decision. Forfeits and losses are no different in this tournament. The only thing that matters is the W or the L. There is no draws even. And hello, B-.
So before we tell you what's going on, where do you think? Do you have any inkling of what might have been going on?
B-.
Hello. Yep. Looks like he's working on his mic and getting everything set up here directly.
Hello?
There you are.
Hey! That was rough.
So,
Yeah.
what kind of guesses do you have for us?
Did I miss
Where-
something? Did I miss something in any of the dungeons?
You did.
Did I really?
Swamp Palace Big Chest.
Oh right, yeah. I never re-dipped for that. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
It's in right there for you. We don't know where
think-
the book is.
Yeah, I think just I screwed up Eastern Palace Dark Room too many times, and that got in my head big time. I was done after that.
That's kind of what we are actually thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I knew going in that Problems was way better than me, and I think my goal in this entire tournament was to win a couple matches and get blown up by somebody who's way better than me, and I think I got that.
Problems is way better than pretty much everyone. So
Yeah. I mean, I knew what I was getting into, and by the time I got to this point, and I forgot, I didn't remember. I didn't re-dip Swamp Big Chest. I didn't want to put anybody through any more of me.
That's perfectly fine. I will say you had like one of the early gambles of the tournament, and I walk me through your process here, because it looked like you were making a gamble because you knew Problems was so good. You got those boots in Kakariko, and then you made a beeline for Bonk Rocks, which had the Titans mitts.
Yeah, I had a feeling that I was going to get those early, but he was going to find them eventually. It wasn't like you don't check Bonk Rocks after you get boots. You're always going to check that. But I think my big mistake was not going right to King's Tomb because that was where Lamp was, and then I wouldn't have screwed up any of the Eastern Palace Dark Room. So I think that those two little things help me and hurt me all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you still got a safety game. You can still lose one more.
Yeah, I mean, making it to knockouts was never my goal. I'm in here to have fun. I've only been playing this game for 2 months now, and I think that I've made some real progress, and I'm happy with how I play. But I'm having fun, and the fact that I've won 2 matches already, I'm playing with house money.
Well, good show. You got through it mostly, and for Dan and I,
Yeah.
that happens to everyone. No one's gonna rage on you for that.
No, I mean, I think being on speed gaming was a little bit. It was a little bit in the back of my head too. I mean, I have no idea how many people were watching, but I have a good idea being in a lot of the races chats and watching a lot of this tournament. But I mean, it's all good. I had a feeling I was going to lose, and then once I saw that he got done and I was still way behind, I was like, all right, let's see if I can finish within a reasonable time. And if I get stuck somewhere, then I'll just throw in the towel and live to fight another day.
There you go. Well, yeah, you are gonna live to fight another day. Tournament's not over for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to these next 4 weeks. Like this game is some of the most fun I've had playing video games in like a really long time. So I'm really excited to be a part of this.
Well, we're excited to have you. Thank you for joining B-.
I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for commentating. Thanks to the tracker. Thanks for everybody who was watching. It was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. There are more matches throughout the tournament here today, and there's going to be some on ALTTP Randomizer, which those are Twitch channels. The name and then add 2 through 4. Then there's also the other 5 speed gaming channels. Just add a number on top of it, and you will find the channel all the way up to 6. Thank you very much. Keep an eye out on different events like the Ultimate Decathlon. There is the Mario Odyssey tournament, the bingo one. There's going to be a Mega Man 2 GB tournament. So if you've ever played the Game Boy games, kind of remixes on the NES games. And I believe in the near future, we're actually going to be getting a Hat in Time tournament, which is a very good speed run that's kind of flew under the radar last year. Going to be at SGDQ this year, and I'm sure a Celeste tournament's coming down the pipeline somewhere. I'm just going to keep saying it'll eventually happen, I think.
If you will it will come.
If I keep saying it on cast at the end of every cast, eventually somebody will make one. But yeah, that's me. Peace out, and don't forget to follow the runners if you enjoyed what you saw.
Yep. Have a great one, everyone.